At 54, the tragedy surrounding Snoop Dogg has taken a turn so dark, so unexpected, and so emotionally heavy that fans everywhere are stunned, whispering one question: how did it get this bad this fast? Because what started as just another cryptic post from Snoop, just another moment of the Dogfather reflecting on life, has spiraled into something deeper, something heartbreaking, something nobody saw coming. And the craziest part? This wasn't about music, fame, or even the industry. This was personal, painfully personal. People close to Snoop have said he hasn't been himself for weeks. Rumors started spreading when he backed out of 2 private events last minute, something he never does. Then came the video that lit the entire internet on fire. Snoop sitting alone in the backyard of his mansion, eyes low, voice cracked, saying, "Y'all pray for me. I'm dealing with something I can't even explain." That one line sent shockwaves through the culture. Fans are shocked. Celebrities are reaching out. The family is left divided. And behind the scenes, the situation is reportedly worse than the public knows. Because this isn't about fame, drama, or headlines. This is about a legend fighting the hardest battle of his life. Ever since the news broke that Snoop Dogg had been struggling behind closed doors, the internet hasn't been able to stop buzzing. At 54, the iconic rapper who has dominated the game for decades, the man who's been larger than life on stage, suddenly seemed human. Vulnerable, fragile, and fans, friends, and family alike are reportedly in shock, trying to process the emotional whirlwind that has become Snoop's life. It all started with a seemingly innocent post on Snoop's social media. What looked like a casual picture of him sitting in a sunlit backyard quickly turned into the spark of widespread speculation. The photo itself was simple: Snoop in his signature oversized hoodie, sunglasses on, holding a cup of coffee, but the caption beneath it was anything but simple. "Some battles you fight alone, some storms don't pass with fame." The post immediately went viral. Fans flooded the comments, tagging celebrities, sharing prayers, and expressing worry. Nobody knew what Snoop meant, and that uncertainty only made the story more explosive. Inside sources close to the rapper told us that this wasn't just a minor emotional hiccup. He's been withdrawing, one source revealed. He's skipping events, barely answering calls. The energy around him feels heavy, like he's carrying a storm inside that nobody can reach. This revelation shocked the hip-hop community. Snoop Dogg is known for his charisma, his infectious laughter, and his larger-than-life personality. But now, friends are saying they can barely get a word out of him. Conversations that used to be full of jokes and laughter are now tense, short, and loaded with emotion. The tension reportedly escalated during a recent family gathering at his Los Angeles mansion. A family insider described the scene as chaotic and heartbreaking. Snoop was surrounded by close relatives, nieces, nephews, and longtime friends, but the energy was tense. Emotions ran high when an argument reportedly broke out between Snoop and one of his closest cousins over a misunderstanding about Snoop's finances. According to sources, the cousin accused him of being distant and distracted, suggesting that fame and fortune had clouded his judgment. Snoop's response, reportedly delivered with an unusual sharpness, left everyone stunned. "You don't know what I'm carrying. You have no idea the things I'm fighting every single day." The room fell silent after that. Friends and family later told insiders that they had never seen Snoop so vulnerable. He just sat there, a family friend recounted, and for the first time, it felt like the legend we all know was human, fragile, like the mask had dropped, and we were seeing the real him. The emotional stakes were high, and whispers began circulating that this tension might have deeper roots than anyone realized. Fans online were quick to pick up on subtle hints from his past few appearances. During a recent performance, Snoop appeared distracted, his eyes wandering, and his usual energy noticeably subdued. Footage of the concert circulated widely, showing Snoop pausing mid-song, staring into the crowd with a faraway look. A clip went viral of him muttering under his breath, "Can't lose what I haven't fixed yet." Fans interpreted this as a cry for help, igniting waves of speculation across forums and social media platforms. Celebrities and fellow rappers reportedly reached out to Snoop privately, some expressing concern, others trying to offer support. But insiders claim he's been hard to reach, sometimes disappearing for hours at a time. The public's concern escalated after an incident at a private studio session. Sources revealed that Snoop had invited a close friend to collaborate, but halfway through the session, he abruptly left. The friend, visibly shaken, told insiders that Snoop just couldn't continue and seemed weighed down by something he didn't want to talk about. The incident has fans asking, what could be affecting Snoop Dogg so profoundly that even music, his lifelong passion, can't lift his spirits? Adding fuel to the fire, whispers began circulating that Snoop's family might be divided over how to support him. A longtime friend of the Dogg family said, "There's tension. Some want him to get professional help. Others think it's a phase he'll overcome on his own. But emotions are running high. The family is split, and Snoop feels that pressure too." Such tension only amplifies the heartbreak fans feel. The man who has always seemed untouchable, both in fame and in resilience, appears to be facing his most personal battle yet. The drama doesn't stop there. A source close to the rapper revealed that Snoop had recently received some troubling news that hit him hard, but the details remain unclear. He got a phone call that shook him, the source said. Something personal, something he's been trying to avoid, and it left him speechless for hours. The energy in the house changed immediately after that call. Rumors quickly spread online, but nobody has confirmed what that call was about. Some speculate it involves family health issues. Others hint at long-hidden personal betrayals. Whatever the truth, this secrecy only adds to the suspense and concern surrounding Snoop Dogg's current state. Even the broader hip-hop community has been affected. Artists who have collaborated with Snoop for years are reportedly reaching out nonstop. One close collaborator was quoted saying, "Snoop isn't just a legend in music, he's a brother, a friend." Seeing him like this hits everyone hard. We're all trying to find ways to support him, but he's tough to reach right now. The mix of concern, respect, and confusion has created a unique tension online, where fans are divided between speculation and genuine worry. Trending hashtags like #PrayForSnoop and #DogfatherDrama have exploded across Twitter and Instagram. And while the world waits for answers, Snoop himself has been sending subtle, cryptic messages. Late-night live streams and short social media clips hint at inner turmoil without revealing the full story. In one clip, he whispered, "Sometimes the loudest battles are the ones no one sees." In another, he stared out over the city's skyline, sighing deeply, saying nothing more. Fans are dissecting every frame, every word, every expression, trying to understand the depth of his struggle. Emotions online have reached a fever pitch, with fans expressing heartbreak, frustration, and confusion. As the drama unfolds, it's clear that this story isn't just about fame, wealth, or career achievements. This is about Snoop Dogg, the man behind the persona, facing struggles that are raw, real, and heartbreakingly relatable. And while rumors, speculation, and conflicting reports swirl, one thing is certain. The legend's current battle is shaking everyone who has ever admired him, from fans to family to fellow artists. The question now is, what happens next? How does a man who has faced the pressures of the music industry, the challenges of fame, and decades of public scrutiny navigate a storm this deeply personal? The answers remain hidden for now. But fans are holding on, praying, and hoping that the Dogfather finds a way through the darkness. And as more details emerge behind the scenes, the story promises twists, heartbreaks, and revelations that nobody could have anticipated. The tension surrounding Snoop Dogg only intensified after that mysterious call. Sources say the rapper began isolating himself from even his closest friends, spending hours in his private studio and occasionally wandering the grounds of his sprawling Los Angeles estate, lost in thought. It was like watching a storm roll in, one insider said. Snoop was there, but not really there. You could see the weight on his shoulders. He wasn't the same Dogg we all know. Rumors quickly began to swirl that the call was tied to a family dispute that had been simmering for years. According to insiders, a previously unknown rift had developed between Snoop and a cousin over inheritance issues connected to the family estate. The tension reportedly reached a boiling point during a private dinner that was supposed to be a casual reunion. Eyewitnesses described the scene as explosive, with voices raised, accusations flying, and emotions running so high that some family members reportedly left in tears. "You think fame and money fix everything? You don't know the half of what I've sacrificed," Snoop shouted. One guest recounted. And then someone responded, "We're not asking for fame, we're asking for you to be here, really here." It was tense, heartbreaking, and raw all at once. Fans online immediately latched onto these reports, speculating wildly about what could have possibly caused such a private dispute to leak into public awareness. Social media was flooded with posts questioning Snoop's mental state, with hashtags like #DogDrama and #SnoopStruggle trending worldwide. Celebrities began weighing in as well, with some offering words of encouragement, while others expressed genuine concern over his well-being. But the real shocker came when an insider revealed that the argument may have been about more than just money. Allegedly, someone within the family had betrayed Snoop's trust in a way that cut deeper than anyone could have imagined. Sources claim that Snoop discovered that a longtime confidant, someone he had trusted with years of personal and professional secrets, had been leaking sensitive information to the press. It wasn't just gossip, the source said. It was information that could harm him personally and professionally. It shook him to the core. This revelation reportedly left Snoop questioning who he could trust. Friends close to him noticed him growing increasingly cautious, even secretive. He started shutting doors, changing routines, and spending time with only a few people he absolutely trusted, a source said. The emotions ran high, and it was clear he was carrying a burden that was both personal and public. The betrayal reportedly didn't stop at private conversations. Some insiders claim that early drafts of unreleased songs were leaked, and even private videos that Snoop had never intended to share somehow made their way online. It was devastating for him, said one music industry insider. Snoop has always been careful, and for someone to violate that trust, it hit him harder than any critic ever could. As the drama unfolded, the ripple effects were felt across Snoop's inner circle. Family members reportedly took sides, leaving the household divided and tense. There were arguments about loyalty, respect, and honesty, an insider said. Some people were trying to protect him. Others were arguing about what he should do next. The family was torn, and Snoop was in the middle, feeling helpless and overwhelmed. In the midst of this turmoil, Snoop reportedly reached out to a few celebrity friends for guidance. One source close to the situation said that Dr. Dre was among those who checked in privately, offering support without prying. He just wanted Snoop to know he wasn't alone, the source said. And that mattered, because Snoop really needed someone who understood the pressures he's under. Even beyond the music world, the ripple effects were felt. Fans organized online vigils, showing up outside Snoop's estate, leaving flowers, notes, and messages of hope. "It's like the city itself is holding its breath," one fan said. "Everyone just wants to see him okay. He's given us so much, and now we just want him to be okay." The tension took a dramatic turn when an emotional confrontation reportedly occurred between Snoop and one of his closest cousins, who is said to have been the source of much of the family conflict. Witnesses claim that Snoop's voice, usually calm and measured, cracked with emotion during the exchange. He said, "I gave you everything and still you turn on me?" a source recounted. And then he walked out, leaving everyone in shock. The room was silent, filled with disbelief and sadness. Reports suggest that the confrontation has had long-lasting effects. Some family members allegedly stopped speaking to one another for weeks, while others tried desperately to mediate the conflict. Snoop, meanwhile, reportedly retreated further into himself. He canceled appearances, skipped studio sessions, and rarely posted on social media, leaving fans and the press speculating endlessly. The public reaction has been equally intense. News outlets across the country began running headlines like "Snoop Dogg in crisis" and "Family drama threatens rap legend." The tension online only escalated, with conspiracy theories, speculation, and rumors flooding Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Fans debated whether Snoop's retreat was emotional, strategic, or a combination of both. Some even suggested that this personal struggle might inspire a new, deeply emotional album, a theory that both excited and worried fans. Amidst all this, sources indicate that Snoop has found solace in a few key relationships. Longtime collaborators and friends have reportedly been visiting him, checking in and offering advice, though the rapper remains guarded. He's appreciative but cautious, a source said. He's been burned before, and he's not letting anyone close enough to hurt him again. Interestingly, the tension isn't limited to personal relationships. Industry insiders hint that some business partners have also sensed his vulnerability, leading to subtle power plays behind the scenes. When someone like Snoop shows cracks, people notice, an insider said. And unfortunately, not everyone has his best interest at heart. These behind-the-scenes maneuvers have allegedly added to his stress, forcing him to juggle family drama, public scrutiny, and professional pressures all at once. And yet, even amid all this, Snoop reportedly has moments of clarity. Close friends describe fleeting glimpses of his usual charm and humor, reminding everyone why he's considered a cultural icon. Sometimes he laughs, sometimes he smiles, and it's like he's back to himself for a few minutes, one insider said. But then the storm comes back, and you can see the weight pressing down again. For fans, the unfolding drama has been heartbreaking. Social media posts, live streams, and fan forums are flooded with messages of hope, prayers, and love for Snoop. "We're just hoping he knows how much he's loved," a fan wrote on Instagram. "He's given us decades of music, joy, and memories. Now it's our turn to support him." The mix of personal betrayal, family tension, and public scrutiny has created a uniquely high-stakes situation for Snoop Dogg. Every leaked detail, every cryptic post, every missed appearance fuels speculation and concern. While insiders insist that he's still surrounded by loyal friends and allies, the emotional toll is undeniable. As this story continues to develop, one thing remains clear. Snoop Dogg, the dogfather of hip-hop, is facing a personal battle that is reshaping his life, his relationships, and his public persona. And the world watches, holding its breath, waiting for him to find a path through the storm. Fans are shocked. Emotions ran high. The family is left divided. And behind the scenes, Snoop continues to fight battles that few outsiders will ever fully understand. Just when it seemed like Snoop Dogg's world couldn't get any more complicated, new revelations began to surface, turning concern into outright shock. According to sources close to the rapper, there's more at play than family disagreements and business betrayals. Allegedly, a long-hidden secret from years ago has resurfaced, threatening to shake Snoop's life to its core. "This isn't just drama," one insider said. "This is something that has haunted him quietly for years, and now it's coming back with a vengeance." Reports suggest that the secret involves a former friend who had once been a close part of Snoop's inner circle. Friends say Snoop had discovered that this individual had been manipulating situations behind the scenes, taking advantage of his trust, and even leaking details to media outlets to create controversy. Snoop felt betrayed in the worst way possible, the source said. He trusted this person like family, and now he feels like he has to start over emotionally, personally, and professionally. The tension reportedly reached a dramatic high during a private late-night confrontation at Snoop's estate. Witnesses say emotions ran so high that shouting could be heard from outside the house. He said, "I trusted you, and this is what I get," a source revealed. And the other person tried to justify themselves, but Snoop was done. He walked away, slamming doors, leaving everyone stunned. The aftermath of that confrontation reportedly left Snoop withdrawing even further. Friends noticed him skipping studio sessions, avoiding social gatherings, and barely speaking on the phone. He just needed space, a close collaborator said. He's a man of deep emotions, and when something shakes him, it shakes him hard. But he's resilient, and people close to him are doing their best to support him without crowding him. Meanwhile, social media exploded with speculation. Fans combed through old interviews, videos, and posts looking for clues. A short clip of Snoop from last year resurfaced online, showing him staring pensively out a window with the caption, "Some truths you can't undo." The timing, they argued, was uncanny. It's like he's hinting at what's going on, one fan wrote. We need to know he's okay. Adding more drama, insiders revealed that Snoop's family has been split into factions over how to handle the situation. Some members reportedly want him to publicly address the drama to set the record straight, while others insist it should remain private to avoid further stress. It's like the family is torn in two, a source said. And Snoop is stuck in the middle, trying to navigate both loyalty and betrayal at the same time. As if the drama wasn't enough, rumors began circulating about a potential legal angle. While nothing has been officially confirmed, some insiders suggest that Snoop is considering taking legal action against those who allegedly leaked personal information. It's a delicate situation, an industry insider said. If he moves forward, it could change everything in his personal and professional life. But he's known to be calculated and patient, so he's weighing all options carefully. Friends also say that despite the intense pressure, Snoop has found moments of reflection and clarity. One close confidant shared, "He's been writing more than ever. Lyrics, thoughts, even letters to people he cares about. It's his way of processing the storm inside. And even though it's hard to see right now, that creativity might be his lifeline." Adding fuel to the suspense, a shocking incident reportedly occurred during one of Snoop's rare outings. A fan allegedly approached him aggressively, attempting to ask pointed questions about the family drama and leaked secrets. Security reportedly intervened quickly, but the encounter left Snoop shaken. He was visibly upset, a witness said. It reminded him that the world is always watching, even when he's trying to heal privately. The tension didn't stop there. According to sources, Snoop's closest friends held an emergency meeting to discuss how to support him. Everyone wanted to make sure he had space, but also knew he couldn't handle this alone, a source said. They're walking a fine line between protection and interference, and it's emotionally exhausting for everyone involved. Meanwhile, fans online continue to speculate and theorize. Hashtags like #SnoopCrisis and #DogfatherDrama continue to trend, with fans dissecting every post, clip, and interview. Some argue that Snoop's withdrawal is a sign of deeper personal struggles, while others speculate it's a creative retreat before a major musical comeback. It's like watching a living legend navigate a storm that's both very private and very public, one fan wrote. Adding another layer to the drama, insiders revealed that Snoop recently had a heated phone exchange with a longtime music producer. Sources claim emotions ran high, with the rapper reportedly confronting the producer about rumors, leaks, and perceived betrayals within the industry. Snoop was firm, an insider said. "I know what's happening behind the scenes, and it stops now." It was intense, emotional, and deeply personal. The public remains in suspense as details slowly emerge. Some speculate that Snoop's struggles could inspire a deeply personal project, one that might reveal more about his inner battles than he has ever shared before. If he decides to channel this into music, it could be revolutionary, a collaborator said. But it's a lot to process, and he's not ready to share it yet. Adding to the emotional roller coaster, friends say that Snoop has been reflecting on his past, reconnecting with memories from his early career, and even reaching out to mentors for guidance. He's thinking about legacy, trust, and how to protect what's most important, a source said. It's about more than music. It's about life, family, and survival. Meanwhile, the public debate rages on. Fans and critics alike dissect his social media posts, looking for hidden meanings and emotional cues. In one cryptic post, Snoop simply wrote, "Some storms last longer than we hope." Comments flooded in from fans sending prayers, love, and support. "We're all hoping he finds peace," one fan said. "He's given so much, and now it's our turn to lift him up." The insider reports paint a picture of a man torn between public expectations and private pain, struggling to maintain composure while dealing with betrayals, family tension, and emotional vulnerability. "He's carrying so much weight," a source said. "But he's still Snoop Dogg. He's resilient, smart, and strong. He just needs the right support to navigate this storm." And through it all, the world watches. The mix of heartbreak, suspense, and intrigue continues to captivate fans and media alike. Every post, every rumor, Every insider report adds another layer to a story that seems far from over. Emotions have run high. Family relationships are strained. Friends are stepping in and stepping back in equal measure. And through it all, Snoop Dogg remains at the center, a man facing the most personal and challenging battles of his life. As the storm surrounding Snoop Dogg reached its peak, insiders say that emotions ran hotter than ever. The family divisions, the leaked secrets, and the personal betrayals culminated in what one source described as the most intense week in Snoop's life since he rose to fame. Friends reported that he was rarely seen outside his estate, choosing instead to confront the chaos in private, often pacing through his home late into the night. He was wrestling with everything, a longtime confidant said. The fame, the family, the trust issues, it all came crashing down at once. According to insiders, one of the most shocking twists occurred when a previously silent family member stepped forward. This relative, who had largely stayed out of public attention, reportedly revealed long-hidden truths that both clarified and complicated the situation. They admitted mistakes, a source said, but at the same time, it reopened wounds that Snoop thought had healed years ago. The confession reportedly brought a mixture of relief and renewed tension, leaving the Dogg family emotionally raw and unsettled. Adding to the drama, Snoop allegedly confronted the person responsible for leaking personal information. Friends described the encounter as tense and cinematic. In a private exchange, Snoop is said to have stated firmly, "I built this empire on trust. You broke it, and now you have to answer for it." The confrontation reportedly ended without physical violence, but left both parties emotionally drained. It was a showdown that nobody expected, but Snoop held his ground, an insider revealed. It was raw, intense, and heartbreaking. The emotional roller coaster continued when Snoop decided to reach out to a few estranged friends. Reports indicate that these conversations were difficult, but ultimately healing. He wanted to reconnect, said a close associate, to remind them and himself of the bonds that really matter. During these calls, Snoop reportedly shared intimate reflections about his struggles, his fears, and the weight of public scrutiny. Friends described the exchanges as powerful and emotionally charged, with Snoop showing a vulnerability rarely seen in public. Meanwhile, fans continued to speculate about the real reasons behind Snoop's silence. Social media was flooded with theories. Some claimed he was dealing with health concerns, others believed it was a spiritual awakening, while a few insisted it was simply the stress of fame catching up. Trending hashtags such as #DogfatherHealing and #SnoopUnseen became rallying points for fans sending messages of love, hope, and prayers. "Everyone wants him to be okay," a fan said. "We've seen him give so much to the world. It's our turn to give back." Behind the scenes, sources report that the rapper's creative process has become a refuge. Snoop has reportedly spent countless hours writing, recording, and reflecting. He's channeling everything, the betrayal, the heartbreak, the love, the fear, into his music, an insider said. And it's some of the most authentic work he's ever done. Every lyric feels raw, personal, and unforgettable. Friends speculate that this body of work may redefine his legacy, offering fans an unfiltered look at the man behind the persona. The family drama, however, isn't over. Sources indicate that discussions are ongoing about trust, loyalty, and the future of Snoop's personal relationships. The emotions are still raw, one insider said. Some wounds are healing, others are being reopened. But Snoop is determined to find clarity and protect what matters most. Friends emphasize that while the journey is difficult, Snoop's resilience and intelligence are guiding him through the storm. In a surprising twist, an unexpected ally reportedly stepped in to mediate the family tensions. A longtime friend of Snoop's, described by insiders as calm and level-headed, facilitated conversations aimed at reconciliation. They've helped Snoop see that not everyone is against him, a source said. And that perspective is giving him hope. Witnesses described these sessions as emotionally charged, with tears, apologies, and realizations flowing freely. It's clear that the reconciliation process is ongoing, but progress is being made. Adding even more complexity, Snoop reportedly reflected on his public image, and the weight of expectations placed upon him. Sources say he questioned whether fame has ever allowed him to truly be himself. He's thinking deeply about authenticity, about being real, and about what it means to live life on his terms, a close collaborator revealed. It's a philosophical and emotional journey at the same time. This internal reflection, according to insiders, may influence not only his music but also the way he engages with fans and the public moving forward. The drama reached another peak when reports surfaced that Snoop had received unexpected messages from fans who shared their own struggles and stories of resilience. These interactions, insiders say, touched him deeply and provided a measure of comfort. Hearing that people relate to his struggles gave him strength, a source revealed. It reminded him that he's not alone, even when the world feels overwhelming. In addition, Snoop reportedly considered reaching out to some former collaborators with whom he had drifted apart. According to insiders, he is seeking to mend bridges and rebuild trust where it had been fractured. He realizes that relationships, personal and professional, are built on trust and respect, the source said, and he wants to make amends where he can, while also protecting himself from further betrayal. Despite the intense turmoil, Snoop is reportedly beginning to reclaim control over his life. Friends say he has started to create routines that support both his emotional and physical well-being, including time for meditation, reflection, and music. He's finding ways to breathe again, a confidant said. The storm isn't over, but he's learning to navigate it with wisdom and strength. Fans online remain captivated by every detail. Social media discussions have grown increasingly supportive, with heartfelt messages and public prayers for his well-being. Some fans even report organizing virtual events to uplift him, hoping that collective positivity can provide comfort during this challenging period. Snoop has given us so much joy over the years, a fan wrote on Instagram. It's our turn to be there for him, even if it's from afar. Perhaps the most shocking revelation came when insiders revealed that Snoop had a private conversation with a celebrity he admires deeply, discussing life, legacy, and lessons learned. It was a deep, honest talk about what it means to survive, to thrive, and to stay true to oneself, a source said. He came away inspired, with a renewed sense of purpose. This conversation, insiders claim, has been a turning point, giving Snoop the emotional clarity needed to begin healing. As the dust begins to settle, it's clear that the journey is far from over. Snoop Dogg, the man who has faced decades of fame, scrutiny, and pressure, is now confronting the most personal and intimate challenges of his life. The combination of family drama, betrayal, personal reflection, and fan support has created a narrative that is both heartbreaking and inspiring. Emotions ran high. The family was left divided, and the world watched, collectively holding its breath. And yet, amidst all the chaos, there is a glimmer of hope. Friends report that Snoop is slowly rebuilding trust, reconnecting with loved ones, and finding solace in the creative process that has always defined him. He's starting to smile again, even if just for a moment, a confidant said. It's a small victory, but it's a sign that the legend we all know is still here, fighting and surviving. The stage is now set for the next chapter in Snoop Dogg's life. Will the family reconcile fully? Will the leaked secrets be fully addressed? And how will the Dogfather channel these experiences into his legacy? Fans, friends, and the media remain captivated, waiting for answers, hoping for resolution, and praying for the iconic rapper to emerge stronger than ever. So, what does all this mean for Snoop Dogg, the Dogfather at 54? The heartbreak, the betrayals, the family drama, and the secret battles he's been facing paint a picture of a man who's more human than we ever imagined. Fans are shocked. Emotions ran high. And the world watched as the legend navigated storms that nobody outside his circle could fully understand. But amidst all the chaos, there's hope, there's resilience, and there's the unmistakable strength of someone who has survived decades in the spotlight, yet now faces the most personal battle of all. The truth is, we may never know the full story. Some secrets may remain buried, and some wounds may take time to heal. But what we do know is that Snoop Dogg's journey is far from over. The reconciliations, the reflections, and the quiet moments of clarity hint at a future where he emerges stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. Fans, family, and friends alike are holding their breath, hoping to witness the next chapter of his legendary life. And that's where you come in. What do you think is really going on behind the scenes? Will Snoop Dogg fully heal from this heartbreak? How will these secrets and betrayals shape the next era of his music and legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, share this video with every Snoop fan you know, and make sure to hit that like button if you've been moved by this story. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell because we'll be bringing you every shocking update, every twist, and every emotional moment from Snoop Dogg's life as it unfolds. The story isn't over, and you won't want to miss a single second.